My name's Aaron Cairo. I'm a sponsored skateboarder from the San Francisco Bay Area, and today I'm going to teach you how to master your ollies. Okay, I want to make the most comprehensive ollie tutorial I've ever made. Let's give this a shot so you, yes you, can learn how to do an ollie. First off, the ollie is the most important skateboarding trick in skateboarding, hands down, period, because it is the basis of all, and I do mean all, other tricks. Practice step number one. So your first step on the ollie, and we are going to break this down into every single practice step under the sun, moon, and stars. Your first practice step is to practice simply popping the board. Before you even get there, we're going to get your foot position in place. Front foot is right there, just down from those bolts, and you want to have it sort of flat on the board with your toe just a little bit off, because this part of your foot right here is going to be dragging up the grip tape right there. So you want to have it centered right there, just so it goes right in between those bolts. Super important. Now your back foot is on the tail, perched like that, with the ball of your foot. Because the secret to this is that the ball of your foot is going to push down, and then you're going to be jumping off of the ball of your foot, just like that. The actual motion looks a little bit like this, with my ankle down, and then the board pops, and then it flies up into the air. Bada boom, bada bing. So the first practice step, which you could do a lot of, is this. Just simply step down, pop it up, bend your knees. Step down, pop it up, bend your knees. And do this a lot. The point of these practice steps are not to understand the trick, they're to literally drill in the muscle memory, so your muscles then begin to learn. Your muscles after a little while will know, oh, I know how to do an ollie, because we did the practice step a million times. So that's practice step number one. Now we're moving on to practice step number two. Okay, so now practice step number two, you have your foot on the board just like that, and you're gonna focus this on your knee. Right here, your knee is gonna go forward, which is going to drag this part of your shoe right there up this board. Boom. And you want to drag your foot far enough to where you're making a line on the board and you hit the nose. It's important you drag it far enough and hit the nose right there. But look, keep the focus in on the knee so you guys can see I'm pushing it forward, and then because the resistance here, I'm gonna hit the board, and then my knee is gonna go forward and up just naturally because it's hitting that nose, just like that. See how that looks? See how that works. Forward, up, forward, up, forward, up. Okay, so this knee right here has got to go forward, and if you focus on that rather than your foot, because the motion with the foot is weird. So like your foot is on the board like that, and then you're turning 90 like that, and then it is dragging up the board. But I find it easiest to explain and understand if you focus in on the knee and what the knee is doing. So your knee pushes forward, just like that, drag up the board. What I actually suggest you guys do is sit down on your couch, watch a movie, and just spend an hour dragging your foot like this. You're like, no movie's an hour, Aaron. Okay, spend 2 hours. And by the end of that movie, you can watch Dancing with the Wolves, and that's 3 hours. By the end of that movie, your leg, your foot, you will be like, okay, we know the motion. The whole idea here is that you're drilling the motion into your muscles, building the muscle memory, so then you can then put it together and do the trick. So that's, to recap, practice step one and practice step two. Okay, now practice step three. All you're doing from this step forward is getting the timing down between 1, 2. It's not 1, 2, it's 1 and then 2. Not immediately after, but just a split second after. Is a split second like immediate? It's not at the same time, but it is just after. Okay, so 1, 2. So now we're gonna do that together, which is gonna look like this. 1, 2. Whoa! And remember the focus on the knee. Knee, push forward. Pop down, knee, push forward. And you do have to jump with your back foot. Whenever I don't say jump with your back foot, people get upset. Leave it in the comments below. So pop, and you're jumping, and then 1 and then 2. 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. There's a little tip. Chloe taught me this. Yes, Chol. She calls it the gallop, where you gallop with your feet like this. So in a gallop, you go like a horse would go. It's a little jump step. So your back foot is down, your front foot goes up, and then you jump with your back foot like that. Boom. So that is basically what the ollie is. You lift your front foot, push your back foot down, and then you gallop. Ready? You can even practice like, get the gallop. You do that too much at the skate park, people are gonna be looking at you like you're crazy, like you're a crazy horse. I love horses, but who cares? Don't care what people think, just care about your ollie. Okay, right here, you ready? Again, it's all about the timing. 1 and then 2. And when you first start, your ollie is gonna look probably something like this. And that's fine. The key to the ollie is that all 4 wheels get off the ground. If all 4 wheels get off the ground, you did an ollie very well done. So look, you're gonna pop it down, your front foot is gonna drag. This drag is what creates the lift up, and then you have to lift your front foot. So pop, drag, lift your back foot, and your front foot also is lifting. When you get into the air, you can push that front foot forward, but when you're very first starting, you should just ollie like this. Just pop it up and just let it go down. And the second all 4 wheels get off the ground, you've done it. Boom, down, boom, down. Now the next step from there is you're gonna drag the front foot up and push it forward, which is gonna level the board out in the air like that. And that's gonna give you more height. So now you're dragging up and pushing forward, boom. It's the exact same motion with the knee, and you're just gonna be extending your foot a little bit further. Drag it up, push it forward. So I'm gonna show you the difference between those two. Like beginner ollie, which is very good. If you get that, it's very good. You did the ollie very well done. And now from there, we're gonna go more advanced. You're gonna master this ollie. Up and forward. I'll show you the difference is like beginner ollie, like this. Now you're gonna do a more advanced ollie, level it out in the air. So it's pop it up, drag your front foot, push it forward like this. Boom. You really want that motion. Once you have that up in the air and you're popping it forward, you want to make sure you're bending your knees. Never land with your knees straight. Never land with your knees straight. Keep your knees bent at all times. You always want to land like that. So pop it up, push forward, land with the knees bent, roll away. You got the ollie. You just mastered something new. So you're going to start by learning this on flat. You can start by putting your wheels in a crack, and you can start there. That will help. And then the next step to mastering your ollies is to doing them while rolling. So I'm gonna give you some tips on that, and then we're gonna take it forward to even more and more advanced ollie tricks. So start out with just a little bit of speed, tiny amount of speed. And I always go like, pick a spot, like that crack right there. I'm just gonna pretend I'm jumping over something. I'm not, but I'm just gonna pretend that I am, and it's gonna be that crack. So I'm gonna roll forward. I'm gonna be watching that crack the whole time, bend down, and do an ollie. The key to this is that you've already spent a lot of time getting really comfortable riding your board. All of the earlier beginner practice steps prior to the ollie, I created those so you guys could get really comfortable riding your board. And then when you get to the ollie, you can learn it standing still, and then you can add the motion and do it moving. It's actually no difference. Exact same feeling, exact same motion, exact same everything, except for the ground beneath you is going. Does that make sense? You think of yourself as standing still and the ground is moving, rather than you are moving and the ground is still, right? Yeah, exactly. So the line is right there, you're ready. So you're gonna have your eyes on the line the whole time, roll up, bend down, pop the ollie. You already learned how to ollie on flat. Now you just do it with a little bit of speed, and then a little more speed, and then a little more speed. You might see the theme that we have in all of skateboarding is your practice building muscle memory. The muscle memory goes in, you learn the tricks. You can do them without thinking, you can do them without looking, because your muscles learned it. It's not even in your brain, it's in your muscles. To the line, watch it with your eyes, bend down, pop it up. So now you got it going with a little bit of speed. Okay, so once you have the ollie moving, you're ollieing over a crack. Now we're gonna put an obstacle there. I happen to have this tripod, so we're gonna put that down. We're gonna practice our ollies over the tripod. So start with something super small, a broomstick, a hose. When I was first learning how to skateboard, it was a hose, a garden hose that was maybe yay tall, very small. So same thing applies. You roll up, you're watching the obstacle, you bend down, pop, and ollie. You're gonna pop the tail down, you're gonna drag your front foot up, and you're gonna push it forward, and you're gonna watch the obstacle. Your eyes the whole time are looking at the obstacle as you're riding up to it, and then watching it go beneath you as you sail over it, and then land and roll away. Let's do it again. And I'll do a beginner ollie over it, like. See, I didn't really push my front foot forward. I just popped the tail. You just do the tiniest little pop. It might be scary at first. And at first your timing might be really like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm getting the timing correct. Don't worry about it. Just try over and over and over. And this might take a while. It might take you an hour, 2, might take you 2 weeks. But don't worry, keep persisting. Okay, beginner ollie, let's go. Now from there, you're basically just working on watching the obstacle, getting your eyesight there, popping, and putting all the earlier steps together. We're gonna give you something a little bit bigger to ollie over, the classic, a skateboard, just like so. So we're gonna start with the board down like that. Now, there's a couple things about this. First, it was just a crack, you're not hanging up at all. The next is like a little tripod or a hose or a broomstick, and that's a little bit like that. But it's also the width we're dealing with here. So now, we have an 8-inch wide board, the best beginner complete. If you're learning how to skateboard, that's the deck you should get. Very good, very affordable. And I'm gonna ollie over it 8 inches wide. So the difference here is you need a little more speed. Your timing, your aim has to be a little better. I'll do beginner ollie first. See, it's funny, you don't need to go high. You don't need to have a huge ollie. It just has to have correct timing. Timing. Do another one. Beginner ollie it up. Beginner ollie. First try. I almost went into the pit of death. Now we'll do an advanced ollie. Boned ollie, we'll level it out here. So timing, watch the obstacle. Bend down, pop it. Good, so you feel that, you feel like how close you need to be. The thing that I see that most people do wrong is they start too late and hit it going up, or they ollie too early or have not enough speed and hit it going down. So either of those, it's all about your speed and your timing and adjusting those. So next, we're gonna take this board, we're gonna make it a little higher. We're gonna put it that way. So go beginner ollie first. I find it so fascinating, like you don't have to do so much with your front foot, but you can. So a little ollie, just like that. My board is not leveling out in the air. It's called a rocket ollie. The nose is higher than the tail, that's rocket. One more beginner ollie, safe speed, just a good amount of speed. Boom. Now the next step from here is we're gonna pop it and we're gonna level it out. So right up to it, watch the obstacle the whole time, level it out. It's about timing. Okay, roll up, watch the obstacle, pop and level it out.
So at what point do you actually pop?
You have to pop early enough so that it goes, so that your lift up is like this. Because imagine you're going and you go, ooh, obviously that's too late. So it's just timing and getting used to it, which you should do on the crack and also on the stick. And then when you get to here, you can really work on like how far you're going. But I want to make sure you guys really understand it's not like you have to do this monster ollie to be able to make it over something, as long as you time it right. So now I'm gonna put the board like this, get 8 inches high. So now it's higher, but not as long. So I could go a little slower, but I have to go higher, if that makes sense. And the timing thing and when you pop, that's all just gonna come with lots and lots of practice. You're gonna fail, you're not gonna get this every try. You're gonna have to work through it. Could be frustrating. And my advice on that is to try and do every attempt like it's the first time, while also learning from your earlier attempts, if that makes sense. Okay, beginner ollie. We're rolling up a little slow. Oh! Just rock it right over that thing. The other thing is, if any of these are too hard, you always go back to the earlier steps. Practice, 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 practice. I did make around 20 different tricks that are even earlier than the ollie. So if you're like, I'm completely stuck on the ollie, Aaron, it's been 2 months, go back, practice those earlier steps. It will help you so much. Beginner ollie. Whoa! Now we're gonna do an advanced ollie over it. So you can find the earlier steps on a series that I made called Boot Camp, or you can get personal skateboard instruction from me as part of the Braille Skateboarding Academy. That link will be in the description below. And Skateboarding Made Simple 0. You can download Skateboarding Made Simple 0. Advanced ollie, let's run it. Pop, lift up. Woo! So that's obviously like, if you're a brand new skater and you pop and you level out your ollie like that, you're gonna be like, oh, it's the best day ever. I've been skateboarding 30 years and working on my ollie every single day that I skate. So don't worry about having the perfect ollie, just worry about your own personal progression. Don't even compare yourself to other people. It doesn't matter. It only matters what you did and that you got better personally that day than you were the day before. Pop it, level it out, land, and roll away like a boss. Okay, so when you get to your level, when you get your ollie to this level, then you can start taking it up curbs, down curbs, over obstacles. And I highly recommend that you learn all of these steps. Don't just be like, if you're like, oh, I got the ollie, now I'm going on to kickflip. Don't do that. Like really, really get the ollie, master the ollie. Then you can step into frontside 180, backside 180, pop shove, front shove, heel flip, kickflip, and do all of those and have an absolute blast learning. So yeah, so I really want all of you guys learning how to ride a skateboard. I really want every single person who's ever seen one of my videos to at least learn how to kickflip. Personal goal of mine, I want to take you through all of these. Really, really mastering the ollie is a very, very important step. Arguably the most important step. So I'm going to make some more tutorial videos. I am going to personally be teaching you guys, taking you through all of these steps so you can get the skateboard tricks you always wanted to learn. If you have a trick that you're struggling with, you can submit a skate support on brailleskateboarding.com. You can also join the Braille Skateboarding Academy. That link will be in the description below, and I will personally teach you on the members only Discord server. I will tell you exactly what to do. You can send me your videos and I will message you back, and we will work together to master the skateboard tricks that you, yes you, want to learn how to do. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like, leave a comment below, and you, yes you, learn to ride a skateboard. We got everything you need at brailleskateboarding.com.